Hello, everybody. This is Granger from LeagueBros Inc. And we're doing a podcast. I didn't think of a name for the podcast. Saviour.
Yes.
What's the name of the podcast?
Oh, you know, you can't just put people on the spot.
I'm putting
like
you
that.
on the spot. What is
No,
it?
it doesn't work like that.
What's the podcast name?
I don't know.
Dragon
Just
HQ is the best
make
name
it LeagueBros Talk. How about that? There you go.
LeagueBros Talk.
I don't know. Like,
Enty, do you have a better one?
Yeah, Dragon HQ is the best game ever.
Fuck off already. We just started the podcast.
You said you wanted this to happen.
Later, not at the beginning of the podcast. You're not gonna throw shit on me at the beginning of the podcast. I was supposed to give a disclaimer that me and Enty are actually friends, and she's not being a total bitch to me. So, there's that disclaimer. Okay, I don't know. Saviour, did you come up with a better name?
No.
No?
Like I said, you can't put people on the spot like that.
Well, we can't use on the spot. Rooster Teeth has that.
I'm pretty sure it's also like trademarked.
Yeah, probably. And we're just gonna keep on saying it, cause, you know.
Well, I mean, it's a phrase, also.
What about besides the point?
Besides the point, I need more rum.
That is pretty besides the point.
It is. Okay, we have a few topics that we're gonna go over here. We'll probably go off topic, which is also trademarked by Rooster Teeth.
Probably shouldn't mention Rooster Teethy things.
Yeah,
Rooster Teeth is probably trademarked.
No,
Probably.
I mean, you can't just ignore it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not like every YouTube channel out there has like trademarked every good podcast name out there.
Every word.
Yeah.
Every word you've ever wanted to speak, can't do it. Stop.
LeagueCast?
Sure.
No, it's not bad.
Not bad? Is that okay?
Nah, not bad.
I mean, people are gonna mistake it for a League of Legends podcast.
Or like a fantasy league.
Probably. Even though it's just, yeah. You know how the name LeagueBros Inc. came to be?
I assume you just did a random name generator and threw ink at the end.
Fuck you. No, I didn't. No, when I was in, before I graduated high school, I think my sophomore year, I got my computer that was actually semi-decent. And all my friends had me download League of Legends, and we played that for a full year. And we were like, we should do YouTube videos of it, because we were getting, like, quad kills and shit. So I was like, yeah, what should we call it? I was like, what about, somebody said, what about League Bros? And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then I just added ink when I made the channel. I don't know why. And the name just stuck with me. And I never once uploaded a League of Legends video on that channel.
Did you just want to be edgy?
I mean,
it's kind of edgy.
A little bit edgy.
Alright, whatever. Whatever, it's edgy. Fuck off. No, but we have a few topics to go over, one of them being early access games. We're not sitting in a circle, so how should I do the order here? I'll go last.
You can literally determine the order, or just go by the order of, you know, Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, do that thing.
Saviour.
Yeah.
Last early access game you
Wait,
played.
what the fuck? Wait, hold on. This is gonna be the best part. You're super mute everybody.
I need to take away her admin abilities.
No.
Okay, Enty, what was the last early access game you played?
Dead by Daylight. I think that's still early access.
Yes. No, I think it's a full release. Now I have to check.
No, it's full release.
And Dead by Daylight is that horror movie wannabe, right?
No. It's basically tag, but you get killed.
Yeah, sounds pretty accurate.
Basically tag, but you get killed.
It's hide and seek with murderers. It's
four survivors, and they all have a goal where they need to repair generators so that they can power up the door so they can open the door to escape. Meanwhile, there's another player who is the killer, and obviously his goal is to kill all the survivors. There's different perks and add-ons you can get to make the game more
is no longer an early access game, so now we're done.
That's what I just said, but it's a good game. It needs to be talked about.
Okay, so what's the What is an early access game you've played recently?
I don't know.
Saviour, what's an early access game you played recently?
I got a BRB.
Well, you've got H1Z1, obviously. It's going to be early access forever, more than
Just
likely.
Survivor or King of the Hill or...
King of the Kill.
Okay, because Just Survive is also...
Yeah, but they actually just don't update it anymore, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, I see. They're both early access
Because
games.
King of the Kill pretty much makes all the money, and they don't really support Just Survive because no one actually plays it.
Okay, so they had one early access game,
Yes.
and then they went ahead and released another early access game without
No,
finishing
no.
the first one.
No, what happened was H1Z1. Initially, it was a product of Sony Online Entertainment before it just sort of got sold off, destroyed. And then after that, it was taken over by whoever currently owns the property now.
Daybreak.
And also Daybreak, yes.
Who is also
Daybreak.
owned by Sony.
But Sony Online Entertainment doesn't exist. Because they also did Planet Side 2 and supported that and everything.
At DC
So,
Universe.
Yes. But anyway, while after that, they're like, alright, this game is, $30 or something. We're going to split it up into two games, two separate sections of the game. You have Just Survive and King of the Kill. The reasoning, I believe, was that they wanted to work on them separately and change things per game because of just how differently King of the Kill was evolving compared to Just Survive. So it's like, all right, everyone who already owned this gets both, but from here on out, you either have the choice to buy one or you can buy both because they're pretty much separate games.
Yeah. Okay. And King of the Kill has been out for its release date on Steam was February 18th, 2016. So it's been out for well over a year now. And then H1Z1 Just Survive released January 15th, 2015. So it's been out for a little over 2 years now as an early access game. Both things are correct, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now let's see.
But anyway, where were you gonna go with early access in general?
I was gonna go with what are your thoughts on most of these games coming out on Steam staying in early access for eons?
I mean, obviously you have DayZ, which is probably what's the correct word I'm looking for? A dumpster fire, or just a bottomless pit of nothing. Which, I mean, it gets updates, but it doesn't really make any meaningful progress to better the game. H1Z1 kind of stalemated, or at least King of the Kill. It sort of stalemated for a good part of the entire year last year. It was supposed to release into a game out of early September, but that was delayed and they haven't acknowledged it since because it's still early access. But recently they've probably had the biggest update to the game, which doesn't really change the game that much, but it was an update that changes the balancing, the UI, and how the game itself renders to where it doesn't perform like ass, I guess. Like they made a meaningful update to it, so they're still working on it, but I don't see the core game changing anytime soon, which I don't know. I don't see any reason for it to still be in early access, but it's probably the closest to a full release it will be, or it ever has been even. Like, it's not going to get, I mean, it's probably going to be out of early access soon. It's not going to be one of those ones that gets stuck in it, and a lot of it's probably going to be pressure PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds as well.
Because I've had a chance to play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and I mean it's still really new, so it's just one of those games where I see it just being like right now I'm looking through the early access list for top sellers, and believe it or not, Rust is still in early access. Can you guess its release date?
It was released in like 2014, wasn't it?
Yeah.
December 11th, 2013.
Oh. Yeah, that's not coming out.
And the description still says alpha.
What
Well,
happened?
to be fair, though, Rust has done a whole shit ton of changes to the game. I mean, when it first started, it had zombies. It doesn't have that anymore. The UI has recently undergone a huge change. It has the genders now. I think they put in races as well. I haven't played it in a bit, but I do have like 200 hours on the game.
Hold on,
It's a game it is a game
something.
I can keep going back to.
Project Zomboid, that's been out for forever.
I just saw somebody playing that today.
That is also still in early access. Guess when that was released?
That's gotta be 2013 as well. It's gotta be close.
November 8th, 2013. And it's still considered alpha. There's just gotta be a point where Steam looks at these guys and just says, okay, look, enough of this. Because all they're doing is releasing a game and making it where people can't complain about the game because all they have to say is, it's early access. That's all this is. It's just a tactic for that.
Like, in theory, early access is a good idea. And a lot of games have come out of it well. I believe, or actually, I would say early access in theory was a good idea until, I guess I would want to say early access has kind of been pushed aside by games that are kickstarted or fan funded, because even though a lot of those still don't have a success rate, there's probably more success rates for Kickstarter games than early access games. That's something I'd have to look up, but I mean, it seems like more games are coming to full release out of Kickstarter.
Yeah, but half of those games still end up on the early access page. Granted, they get done quicker. By the way, DayZ was released December 16th, 2013.
Lots of 2013 games.
It's almost like that's when early access launched.
And it has a warning on the front page, like not even the early access warning, but like right under the thumbnail of the game, this game is early access alpha. Early access alpha. Your game has been in alpha for 4 years? 4 years you haven't made it to beta?
I mean, people keep buying it. It doesn't help. They have no incentive. I gotta see what's the player base look like.
Oh, it's gone. I mean, if you look now, recent, it says recent user reviews are mostly negative. Overall, is mixed.
I mean, a lot of stuff didn't help either. Like, anytime it would go on sale, they would raise the price, so that way when they put a sale on it, it just goes back down to the normal retail price.
Wait, guys, we got a status update.
A what?
We have a status update for DayZ on May 2nd, 2017. We're getting to beta. We're going to beta. 4 years, we're going to beta.
Wow, it's almost like they probably got a bit of pressure from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds actually destroying everything.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing about going back to Dead by Daylight. It just released, but they're still coming out with DLC and stuff for it. And a lot of people are wondering if games like Friday the 13th and last year, which are kind of the same, but they do have different structures and mechanics in them.
Yeah.
People are wondering if Dead by Daylight is going to be like basically pushed out of running like H1Z1's about to be. And I feel like if they added new DLC killers, the game will keep itself alive during those times.
I think Dead by Daylight. Friday the 13th. You know, it depends. I don't know if it will be as successful as it hopes to be, because Dead by Daylight came out a lot.
Well,
It had at least over close to a year probably just of release, so just sort of being out there.
Well, a lot of the big name Twitch people I watch that specify or specialize exactly in Dead by Daylight, they don't think Friday the 13th specifically is going to knock Dead by Daylight out of the running.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Because this is what Dead by Daylight has to offer. It has to offer a different killer almost every single round, a different map every single round. There's player variables, so there's always something changing. I mean, Blinky Bill.
What is the basic premise of that game? You have you have survivors who have to turn on things and escape, and that's it. Every game, no matter the map, it's the same objective.
The's no guarantee
but the
that you
objective
escape.
doesn't also change the gameplay because it depends entirely on how everyone.
Yeah, I've had some. I'm literally at the point right now where I have about 50 hours on the game, and I have not got past.
Comes out and it introduces different game modes to this whole ordeal.
Not. It's probably not. That's the unfortunate thing.
The argument is Dead by Daylight already has an established base. And that base might carry over to be like, oh, hey, look, here's this new game. Let's try it out because it's the same. This is the same genre. But if Dead by Daylight's a better product, they'll go back to Dead by Daylight and they won't recommend Friday the 13th.
Is Friday the 13th coming out to early access, or is it going full?
No,
release?
I believe it's just a full release. But where the difference is made is which one will make it to consoles first. Because that's
Dead by Daylight developers are almost 75% of the team is working completely on consoles.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no player base there.
When's
so
Friday the 13th coming out?
Friday the 13th is coming out May 26th.
They ain't gonna make it. That game will make it.
No, it's coming out on PC on May 26th.
Well, the thing with Friday the 13th is there's only one killer and there's only one map.
But it's also a Friday the 13th game. You're not really supposed to have any killers.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna get dull and boring.
I guarantee you they could probably get Freddy in there. Guarantee it.
It's gonna get dull and boring unless they can add new content to the game. But because it is the Friday the 13th game, I highly doubt it's gonna be possible.
They can add Freddy and they can add Michael Myers.
That's about it, though.
Yeah, the classic horror people that you want in those games.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Dead by Daylight has the nurse and the hag. It has Hillbilly. It has the Trapper. It does have Michael Myers. I think I'm missing the Wraith. And every one of those killers has a different ability, which adds something to every game. You don't know which killer you're going to go in and face.
And Friday
so
the 13th,
that means that something's going to change. Yes.
That changes it a little bit, too.
And Dead by Daylight, you cannot fight back, correct?
No, you can only escape or die.
Yeah.
Okay, so already, there's a very different experience. Can the survivors attempt to kill the monster in Friday the 13th?
They can, but at the same time, that completely erases the horror element out of it. Dead by Daylight has the horror element that,
Is the monster stronger than each individual person?
No, you can't actually take him down.
Willingly guess that is the case.
Okay, so the only way they'd be able to take him down is if they all worked as a team.
Yes. I believe that's the point.
And didn't split up, which everybody's gonna do.
Oh, actually, technically, you do have multiple characters.
No, you load in different areas.
No, I was gonna say you have multiple characters because you can play as the multiple versions of Jason in
Can you play as Jason X?
That's like the one they excluded.
I bet that's the one they excluded. Oh, I got excited. Damn it. Okay.
I actually don't know that much about Friday the 13th. I know a little bit more about last year than Friday the 13th.
Okay, so already, from what I've heard, Friday the 13th is going to end up the better game. Mechanics seem pretty solid.
Also, from what I've seen, the environments don't seem to be just sort of a box that you're trapped in.
It's the old campgrounds.
I still think Dead by Daylight's going to come out on top still.
No, but, like, I need to look at the map for Friday the 13th.
Well, let me put it this way. Blinky Bill is one of the top nurse killers on Dead by Daylight. Swift Legend is one of the top killers in Dead by Daylight. Both of them have over 20k hours in the game. Or sorry, not 20k, 2k. Yeah, sorry, hold on, I'm bad with numbers. Both of them have over 2K hours in the game. It's a $20 game, and both of them have over 2K hours in the game. You get your money's worth playing Dead by Daylight.
You saying you're not gonna get your money's worth by playing Friday the 13th?
I don't think you will. I think it's too static.
No, because I think the difference is, from what I'm seeing right now, is Friday the 13th has a lot more interactivity with the environment and within the game itself, instead of just generator and hide.
You're not supposed to generate and hide, because what you...
No,
I know
I'm-
it's
I'm-
a bonus to escape. Hold on. I know it's a bonus to escape in Dead by Daylight. You did get 5,000 points for it. Blood points, which you can use to upgrade your characters. But you get more blood points the more you do in the game. Just to run around, fix a gen, and get the hell out, you're going to get by with the bare minimum. You're not going to rank up. You're not going to be able to progress through the game, which I know there's not much to progress through. You're not learning much of a story, but you don't get to better yourself much if all you're doing is fixing a gen and getting your ass out.
So what else is there to do in the game?
You run and play with the killer, to be honest. A lot of killers actually like the interaction.
Okay. So...
But, okay, just one more thing. The argument I was trying to make is that
Sorry.
the small differences are what could be the most important in determining if people move over. Because it would be the same experience, but just a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example for two other competing games that one got to watch the other game be successful and seen all the problems with it, and then released a far superior game and took that market.
I mean, H1Z1, the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, is a pretty recent one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially like it's the same game.
Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto.
But Saints Row didn't really. Saints Row went a completely different direction at the end, though.
No,
hell yeah, but it was great.
Saints Row only took that market when GTA was like, we don't have to release a game for a really long time, and then Saints Row was like, here's 1 and 2.
I think Grand Theft Auto fucked up with 4, where they added in that realistic driving, and you couldn't drive for shit.
And I think
because it's a sandbox
Saints
game.
Row 3 and 4 are shit games.
No, let's take that back about Saints Row 3.
I'm not going to. I'm not going
because,
to.
Well, what Saints Row did is they took Sandbox and they fucking ran with it. They had no qualms about saying, you want to fight aliens with a giant purple dildo back? Here you go.
Yeah, but that's not what Saints Row was built on. Damn it!
But I mean, that's the developers just making the game.
No, that's the developers pleading to the general market.
No, they took Sandbox and they said, you want Sandbox, here you go.
I don't want Sandbox.
Awesome.
I wanted gang fights.
Then you gotta go play Grand Theft Auto.
I don't want...
You don't gang fight in Grand Theft Auto that much anymore either.
They took that out. That's why Saints Row was what it was. Because they stopped doing it.
Saints Row came out around the same time Grand Theft Auto 3 was out.
No? What the fuck? Where the hell have you...
Not 3.
Saints Row came out at the beginning of the generation before Grand Theft Auto launched.
Yes.
I know it came out after Vegas.
Saints Row supplemented GTA between San Andreas and GTA 4. They released Saints Row 1 and 2.
Like, hey, we got these new consoles and you want your GTA thing. We've got a game for
and they
8
did
years
great.
to make.
They did great. It was perfect.
I think
apparently, good news, Saints Row 5 is apparently going to be a reboot.
Saints Row, there is no more Saints Row.
Saints Row 5 is apparently going to be a reboot.
As long as it's not as bad as Get Out of Hell. Okay.
I haven't actually played Get Out of Hell.
It's actually terrible.
They're doing,
reboots. I want a reboot.
Oh, I swear to God, if they take Saints Row 1 and they fuck it up.
No, okay, so... But... They're not gonna... I think Saints Row is probably gonna be as goofy. They're gonna reboot it in a different context. They're not gonna reboot it to a different...
They better not. They better fucking not.
No, like, you're not gonna see old Saints Row.
I swear to Christ.
But you're also probably not gonna see Superpower Saints Row either.
If they fuck with Stillwater. If they fuck with Stillwater.
You're not going back to Stillwater.
No. Stillwater's gone, dude.
I'm just telling you right now. If for some reason this podcast blows up and becomes some viral hit or whatever, Deep Silver, if you're Volition Games,
Well,
if you're listening,
wait, doesn't Deep Silver Volition?
It's one of the things. I don't know who does what now. I know it was THQ at the start, and then they're gone. If you're listening, don't touch Saints Row 1 and 2. If you want to do anything with Saints Row 1, you port it to PC.
Touch them.
But other than that, leave it the fuck alone. Don't do it. You already ruined your old school fans.
Have fun with them.
Look on your forums. nobody who played the first 2 games likes the last ones.
I love the last ones.
But the 3 and 4 sold the most. So like you're actually just wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the general market. But they're fans.
But that's what's
who
important.
bought up the first and second ones so they could make the 3rd and 4th ones.
Well, don't forget, this is also the dude that thinks Dragon Age Origins was good.
Dragon Age Origins was the best, Enty.
No.
What I'm saying is the general market is fans. It's also Deep Silver, by the way. Well, Deep Silver owns Volition.
Look, the point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of old school fans out there who only like the first 2 games. And if you fuck
That's
that up...
you know what? The unfortunate fact is that those same people who only like the first 2 games are probably the same people that are like, Gen 1 of Pokemon were the best. Because you guys don't like change.
Well, I mean, then you'd like every Pokemon game.
Hey.
That's a knee slapper.
I like all the Pokemon games up to the after Game Boy Advance. After that, I don't like them. I don't want to play them.
Can I ask you a reason why?
They're so, it's not... I don't like the starters. I think the starters are dumb.
Okay, but why?
Because they're dumb.
But how?
Because they all look like little kitty fucking...
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes, you can.
I have one thing to say. First, Deep Silver can actually throw Saints Row in the garbage and make a sequel to Red Faction Guerrilla, and I will also be back in like 5 minutes.
Fair enough. I also agree with the Red Faction thing. They should reboot the Red Faction.
I want Red Dead Redemption, please.
They're making a sequel to that.
I want PC Red Dead Redemption.
They're making that.
I want the first one!
Oh, you're not gonna get that.
Yeah, I know, but I want it.
Okay, Enty, since he's gone, we could start on our next topic. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
I haven't played enough of it to really discuss it, though.
How much did you play of it?
Like, maybe an hour?
So,
no, I don't even think that.
So
maybe 20 minutes.
Just like one game?
One game. I died in the very beginning because I goofed up.
What'd you do?
I wasn't paying attention to controls and I couldn't figure out how to go into first person.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I've...
That and I landed near a bunch of people, so...
Yeah, I've played all of, I think, 6 games of it now.
Okay.
And the last game I played this morning when I woke up and had my coffee, I realized something. Is that you could tactically place yourself from that plane thing. Because everybody jumps as soon as the first eject button comes up. Like, 80% of the people jump. And that's just death. If you go that way, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So, I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And I found this small village that, for 3 games in a row, I've gone to consistently. And no one goes there. But when you go there, it is packed with loot, armor, guns, long-range scopes. So, after I had perfected my method of getting to this village without anyone else following me, it also has a jeep and 2, I think they're buggies, like 2 buggies. So it's got 3 vehicles in front of it. And I have perfected the method of getting to that place, waiting it out for the play area to shrink, and then most people end up just driving by it.
Uh-huh.
And by that time I have my long-range scope, and I'm just sniping people out of their cars.
Yeah. So you're being campy.
I am being campy. And the last game I played this morning, 2 guys actually snuck up on me inside the house and came in.
That's because you're being campy. You can't be campy.
And I heard the door open, and I was at the top of the stairs, and I just had this... I had my UMP, and I'm just staring at this doorway. And I just hear these guys' foots, and I hear them talking to each other. I'm like, this is it. I'm gonna fucking die. My spot has been compromised. And as soon as that door opened, I just went fucking Rambo. Like, flipped that fucking gun to full auto and just went out there and sprayed.
Nice.
And took them all out. And then I got in my Jeep because the play area had closed on me. I drove to the center of the whole play area, got sniped at twice, got hit in the skull. And
Why
then,
am I here?
And then I came back. I'll tell you in a second. And then I came into the circle, and there's snipers everywhere, bullets whizzing past my head, and I go prone, get in there, and then I stop paying attention to the map, and then the play area closes and fucking kills me.
Yeah.
I don't like survival games. You guys know this. I hate survival games. I hate everything about it.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested in this. I like it.
Well, it's a game you have to be slightly tactical in. You can Rambo, but it usually doesn't end up.
No, I like that. I like being strategic.
Yeah, which again is what I was saying. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a game you have to be semi-strategic in. H1Z1 doesn't give you that. It doesn't really give you that option. It's more of a game. If you want a Rambo, I would go to H1Z1.
I don't want a Rambo. I like being strategic. Those guys just caught me off guard.
Yeah, I get you.
By the way, I'm doing a podcast. Hi, Demon.
Oh, wait.
Hi, Demon.
Like, we're being recorded?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have entered in a little less rudely.
I started a podcast. I wanted you to come in at the beginning of the podcast. You just didn't answer me in time, like most people, so that's fine. We were just talking about PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
I have not played it. I've only seen a couple videos of it.
What do you think of it?
It's intriguing.
I was telling Enty I've played about 6 games of it, and I don't like these type of games usually, but this one I enjoy quite a bit. And I cannot wait to play with an actual full squad.
Yeah, that's the thing. It looks like the kind of game I would only want to play with a squad.
Well, I have to say, I played with Saviour. I played 2 or 3 games with Saviour, and we didn't do too good. And then when I started playing solo matches, I was getting ranked a little bit higher. But I think that's just because as a squad, you're just easier to spot. So that might be it. I don't know.
I follow.
I don't know. But welcome to the podcast.
Hello, podcast.
I was, at the beginning of the podcast, I was having them try and come up with names for the podcast. Do you, have any suggestions? For the second ever LeagueBros Inc. podcast?
I'll have to think about it.
See, no one can do this on spot.
Hey, when did you come back? Did you
Like a minute ago.
PlayerUnknown's Battleground rant thing?
No.
Okay. Alright, well, we talked about PlayerUnknown Battleground because I know you haven't played it yet, so I went over that with Enty. Are you interested in the game at all, Saviour?
Yeah, sort of, when it becomes more than H1Z1 that doesn't run like crap.
It does run like crap. That's one thing I didn't mention.
No, but like it runs better than H1Z1. But there's not enough to make it different to validate a purchase for $20.
I would say I've played most of these, and I never liked any of them, but I've had a lot of fun with PlayerUnknown Battleground so far. It's really good, and the guy has the mechanics to a T right now. The only
obviously there's a reason over 1 million people have bought the game already.
Yeah,
it's doing something right.
It is great, and there's no wait time right now, which is so impressive. The only thing I have to complain about is when you are finding a match, and when you first load into a match and you're in that lobby waiting to get into the plane, your FPS will drop down to like 10. But as soon as that's over and you're into the game, it runs smoothly.
How's the hit detection?
It's spot on.
Like, do you know when you're actually hitting somebody?
Yes, you do.
That's perfect.
I was sniping a guy. I was up on a hilltop, and this guy was like almost out of the view of my view distance completely on my computer. And I was still able to hit him until I was hitting him, and I managed to kill him too.
Because I asked that because there's a lot of times in H1Z1 where it essentially feels like you're playing Duck Hunt. There's just no response from the game at all. You just have to sort of guess and hope that they don't kill you first.
No, I would say hit detection in that so far from what I've played 6 games of it. So, however long 6 games are, the rounds usually last a really long time.
It's probably like 4 to 5 hours.
I have had 0 problems with hit detection. Like, that has not been one of my issues. Every person I shoot, they go down. So, yeah, I would say it's pretty good. But since you guys haven't played it, we can move on to the next topic. MMOs on console. Our thoughts on it and the recent influx with MMOs being ported onto console from PC. Have either of you guys played a MMO on the newer consoles yet?
No, I don't believe so.
Demon?
I don't even own a console.
That's right, you're only a PC player. What do you have, Saviour? A PS4 or Xbox One?
PC Master Race.
I think he went away. Saviour!
Maybe. Yelling's not gonna make you. You're not in the same room.
It would. Sometimes I think it helped. I've played. I played Neverwinter on an Xbox One and PS4.
And
it was a better experience than PC.
What?
We're talking about. I moved on to the next topic of MMOs coming onto the next gen consoles, and the recent influx they've been getting onto the console.
I haven't actually played any of the MMOs. I did play Let It Die, which was pretty fun, but it gets boring and repetitive after a bit.
Also, to answer your earlier question, I have a PS4 Pro and PC.
Nice.
Okay, so you haven't been tempted to like get Star Trek Online, Neverwinter, or like the Elder Scrolls Online for your PS4?
No.
I know there's a ton more. Like PlanetSide 2 is on PlayStation.
I don't play them on my computer anyway. There's no temptation on either.
Okay, that's fair. I will say I played Neverwinter on Xbox One and PS4, and it was a better experience than playing it on PC.
You should play Let It Die.
I don't own a console anymore.
Well, do you like Dark Souls?
No.
Then you're probably not going to like Let It Die.
People like watching me play Dark Souls. Does that count?
It doesn't, unless people will like to watch you play Dark Souls with Dank Mr. Skeletal.
Hey, Dang Mr. Skeletal is awesome. He's one of my favorite characters ever.
The point of this topic was just to get your guys' opinions on the MMO market targeting consoles now. The free-to-play MMO market is now targeting consoles.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I mean, that's like a 40+ million potential user base.
Yeah.
I know PC, has hundreds of millions of a potential user base, but consoles are obviously
the only thing that makes me sad is Warframe is also available on the PS4.
How does that make you sad?
Because you can't transfer over. You can't be playing on the PC and then go to PS4.
So
and have your same characters and all that. Or Warframes.
Anyway, obviously MMOs are they're doing well on consoles. I'm pretty sure the only reason doing as well as it is because of the console release that they had.
Who'd you say that was for? Neverwinter?
What?
Who'd you say Was
The Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh yeah. That game.
Because it was struggling for after its initial PC release, and then they relaunched with the buy to play edition. I think sometime.
Unlimited.
Yeah, it was last year, I believe, and it's been doing really well since.
Well,
or at least well enough.
Well, there's because these two topics are gonna mix into each other, which is the controller on PC topic. Another thing that got released with the Elder Scrolls Online with the Tamriel Unlimited was controller support for the PC version.
And that's great. I mean, it gives someone an option to play with a controller. I mean,
did you play
there's no
that
downside
game with
to that.
Mouse and keyboard?
I mean, when it was free, play like what, last weekend or the weekend before?
Yeah.
Or not the weekend, but the week, like 2 weeks ago, it was free to play for a week, and I didn't like it at all. The controls felt kind of clunky. I never considered to plug in a controller. But
may I make a note?
Controller feels.
Controller might help for Elder Scrolls.
100% better.
May I make a note because it's on this? Is while I don't own a console, I have of course used them, and in my experience, and I'm thinking between playing on a PC or playing on a console, especially for things like MMOs, which have a lot of buttons you usually need to hit, keys and etc. I could definitely see how a controller itself, why a console might have an edge, because the controller is definitely more suited towards that kind of activity than a keyboard is.
Now, a good question, or a
different size keyboard, you swap to a different size keyboard, and suddenly your hands are useless, as I can tell you. I'm used to a bigger keyboard than my new laptop was, and it took me quite a while to learn how to hit Shift and Control and not mix the two up and hit my hotkeys correctly on my numbers. You don't gotta really worry about that very much.
That comes down to per person, but there's actually no downside to having the option for both.
No.
But as I was going to say,
just preference.
Yeah.
A good question is, how about we reverse the MMO to console and say MMO from consoles coming to PC with Destiny 2 releasing on PC later this year?
Interesting.
I think it's easier for them to take a console game and just bring it to PC. I mean, as long as it comes with controller support.
I mean, obviously. But like,
it's not obviously. I don't.
No, but
did you ever play Saints Row 2 on PC?
I haven't never played Saints Row 2 in my life.
That's a console port. And when it released to PC, it did not have controller support. Well, it had controller support, it just didn't have good controller support.
There's a difference between a console port and, I guess, like, there's very two specific types of ports.
Are they building it specifically for PC, the version they're going to release?
Oh, no, it's not even that. It's more specifically, like, are they just going to port the console version over without even, like, adding mouse and keyboard support? Are they going to do, like, what the Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition did, and it's literally just, like, nothing added to really... I mean, it's just sort of... You have to play with controller, you have to use games from Windows Live when it came out. It was, like, very bare bones. There was no point to buying the PC version over the console version until the modding community eventually sort of brought it up to snuff.
Yeah, you had to have a controller to play that. I remember that.
But aside from those ports, you know, that doesn't really happen anymore either.
I don't know. Will we see a lot? That'd be odd, wouldn't it? Seeing a lot of MMOs being made for consoles, and then after their console release get ported to PC.
The only example I have is, while Destiny isn't exactly a full-on, it's releasing on PC later this year, and they're talking like, oh, it's going to be a great PC release, and they're making it sound like it'll even have a unique launcher instead of launching off of Steam or Battle.net, which, you know, goes to say they're putting a lot of work into it if they're, you know, creating their own launcher to customize the experience.
That is very interesting.
But the question is, who's going to buy the game? Is it going to be people who already had a PC and bought a console for the first one, or Is it going to be a lot more people who just never really cared?
It's gonna be a lot of people who really didn't care. I mean, when you think about Destiny, it was a flop.
No, it wasn't.
It was a huge flop.
No, hold on. You're gonna.
If you're gonna tell me about the profits it
mean,
it made profits off of the pre-orders. But that game was a complete flop with most of its fans because it was the same repetitive gameplay over and over again with no story.
Critically, at launch, it floundered. But after that, Destiny is the third biggest moneymaker for Activision, with the first being the King games like Candy Crush, the second being Call of Duty. No, Activision owns Blizzard too. So you have, okay, let's just say like Activision and Blizzard, separate them for now. You have, well, like just the games division of Activision. Outside of Blizzard, you have Call of Duty and then Destiny. Those are the top two. And then you have Blizzard, where Overwatch just made over $1 billion in profit in a year, which is an insane number. Like,
yeah.
If Destiny wasn't profitable, they wouldn't be hiring several studios outside of Bungie to work on Destiny 2. Because they have Bungie, they have High Moon Studios, they have a bunch of other studios that they used to use to help with Call of Duty games and help with the ports of those games.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when Destiny came out, they had the best marketing. So their pre-order sales were through the roof.
But Destiny 2 also has the highest Activision
Yeah, I mean, it's true, but most of the PC players right now who are going to end up getting a look at Destiny 2 did not play the first game. They're going to go into it with a fresh mindset because they weren't going to buy a console for a game that on, the first week of it, reviewers were giving it a bad score who weren't paid off.
But even then, a year later with because they had 2 expansions and it had sort of major expansion.
The Taken King was the one that I think everybody was like, okay, now Destiny is actually getting somewhere.
That's what turned it around.
But PC players have already seen the route of Destiny.
Yeah, and they've seen it go upwards.
No, they got their taste of Destiny already with the Division.
No, because people don't play the Division.
A lot of people still play the Division.
Not many.
Let's go.
I gotta head out.
Go onto the store page.
I mean, the store page won't help you because it's a free-to-play weekend, so it's going to be an inaccurate representation.
Is the free-to-play weekend this weekend?
Yes.
Bye.
It's tomorrow at 4.
Bye, Nathan.
Bye, Nathan.
Tomorrow at 4?
Yes.
No,
There's currently 7,000 people in game at least. So.
Yeah, 7,000. 7,000 people.
But
it started
but
already.
It is free to play.
It started already. Started yesterday.
Yeah, so you can't judge it right now.
The Division isn't as sort of MMO-y as Destiny either.
What?
Like, it's hard to say. I don't know.
They have the same gameplay. You go somewhere, you have a set goal, you shoot a whole bunch of the same enemies. At the end of that, you fight a slightly harder enemy, and then you're done. And then you go do that over and over again until you level up to get better gear. And then sometimes you go do PvP to get better gear. Is that not what Destiny is?
I mean, a very simplified version, yeah.
There we go. Boom.
But you also like to simplify
even then,
games. Look at how hard you simplified Dead by Daylight.
The Division doesn't excite people. Like,
it excited me.
Are you playing it still to this day?
I do sometimes to get my money's worth.
But yeah, you say that like you didn't even get your money's worth in the first place.
I didn't until Survival came out. Survival changed the whole game.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is...
Same thing with Destiny. Taken King came out, changed the whole game.
Destiny 2 is essentially going to be a complete redoing. Because they had to build the first game around Xbox 360 and PS3, which makes it kind of difficult to work with.
That was a dumb decision. They should have just waited for next gen.
I mean, it's... But, like, it's essentially a fresh start.
Do you think the PC sales will keep up with the console sales for it?
That's a good question. Because that also comes down to how many people playing on PS4 and Xbox One are PC gamers that, didn't have a way to play it.
I know my brother is looking forward to Destiny 2.
Like,
Is it
I'm
gonna play
definitely
He's
on
looking
PC?
forward to. Yeah, he's looking forward on PC.
What are you gonna get it on, Saviour? PS4 or
PC. I don't care about any potential progress that I can carry over. I would prefer the game to run at 60 frames instead of 30.
I would feel like it would run at 60 on your PS4 Pro.
I don't think so, because I don't see them hitting 60 on wanting to go bigger, and there's a mandate by Sony that is sort of loosely followed, but even Bungie themselves wouldn't give an advantage on consoles for different frame rates.
What are they building it in? What's the engine they're using for it?
It's their own custom engine. It's pretty much a super Halo Reach engine, I believe. So it is their own custom engine.
so they still using like the Call of Duty route of using the same engine over and over again and upgrading it. So it
I think
becomes
Destiny,
like at the end of its lifespan, it becomes like a super engine, and
No,
then that's when they switch over.
I would say it's safe to assume they went with the Halo Reach engine because those already work on the 360, which makes it easier to jumpstart. However, they're probably going to redo a lot of how the game works and how everything in the back end works to where it won't really be noticeable that it's even the same game.
If I was them, I would just put it on Unreal 4, because right now that's dominating the market. Though, have you guys noticed that almost every Unreal 4 game that has come out lately has run like shit on every PC?
No.
It's like,
I think a lot of games have been lacking in optimization lately.
I've heard nothing good about, nothing really bad about Unreal Engine 4.
I've played a lot of Unreal 4 games here lately, and I have to say that most of not like the AAA guys who get a hold of the Unreal 4, they do great. But I'm talking like these indie developers who get a hold of it, like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, they don't know how to work that fucking engine.
It's also early access.
I don't care what the...
No, but that goes back into what I was saying about optimization. A lot of games have been lacking optimization. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is a little bit better on the spectrum, but if you look at a game like 7 Days to Die, which has been out for a really long time, I think it's still early access, but yeah.
That's on Unreal 3.
I don't know that much about games, but it has been out for a while, but my computer, which is, it's pretty decent. It's a decent computer. It's not top tier, but it's pretty decent.
Define decent?
I can play Arc at 30 frames.
Well, Arc is actually like more unoptimized than anything. But what do you have? I mean,
I believe I have an i5. I have
You're on a mobile chipset though.
it doesn't really make much of a difference.
I'm not gonna throw out my specs right now. My computer is decent.
No, I'm just like what kind of a graphics card?
760.
M.
Oh boy, that's old.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
Well, I can play Arc pretty well.
I got I have an R9 280X.
I don't know how Radeon stacks into. I don't know the Radeon scale.
It's new. It's newer. I don't know. It's 2017 now, so I guess it wouldn't be considered too newer by this point. But it was one of AMD's higher rated cards when it came out, and I can run most games really well.
Still, regardless, we're sort of at the point where you're seeing minimal gains with newer stuff.
Well, my issue is a lot of games are lacking optimization. Again, 7 Days to Die, which is a game that came out almost 4 years ago now,
I have to run
came out in 2000. Yeah, I have to run it on low, and I hate playing it on that because I can't make out materials and dirt and stuff. Like, someone who has a slightly better computer than me will be like, "There's coal right there," and I'm like, "Fucking where? I can't see it."
Yeah,
a lot of
Megan
games have been
hates it
lacking optimization.
Yeah.
But you have to remember the 760 is a really old card. I mean, you're not doing yourself many favors.
Also, early access shit for optimization.
But you think a game that's been in early access for 3 years now would be working on their optimization a little
Minecraft
bit?
isn't optimized, and that's been out for fucking ever.
Minecraft runs on anything. What are you talking?
Minecraft is constantly developing too.
It didn't run on my Pentium 4.
What kind? Is this a joke? Are you like?
No, when I first started PC gaming, I wasn't actually trying to do PC gaming. I just needed a computer to do like homework and shit on and send emails. My first computer was a Pentium 4 with 4 gigs of DDR2 and a NVIDIA 9800 GT from BFG Tech, which that company has been dead for probably like since the early 2000s. And that the CPU, the Pentium 4, had a car air filter as the heatsink.
No, like if I ever hear anything about a Pentium again, I'm actually gonna cry.
It was a single core clocked at 2.8 gigahertz.
It just hurts. I just think about it, hurts.
Hey man, that thing used to run Oblivion, but it couldn't run fucking Minecraft to save its life.
Because Minecraft is not the same as Oblivion. Minecraft's a game built for 2010 plus systems, not 2002 systems.
It ran Skyrim too.
I don't believe you.
It did.
Oh, that's right, because Skyrim also uses the Oblivion engine. Because Bethesda really don't like updating their game engines.
They don't need to. Fuck.
I mean, they do.
They used Unreal 4 for Doom.
No,
and for Prey.
I'm talking about their Elder Scrolls and Fallout games.
They used a new engine for Fallout 4.
No,
they
used
used Skyrim
not.
engine. Skyrim had a new engine.
Oblivion no, it didn't. No, it didn't. It's still Game Boy Brio Jink.
Yeah, but it was a new updated one.
No.
It wasn't like the old kicking the horse.
It's still.
Are you telling me they use the same engine for Morrowind? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Has the hand-to-hand combat had any meaningful change?
It did in Skyrim.
But like anything that actually feels responsive and good to play.
With mods. I'm not gonna defend Skyrim. I didn't like it. I still think Morrowind's the best Elder Scrolls game that's ever came out in the history of ever.
I mean, I don't think many people will argue with you on that. The only arguments you're going to hear is about Dragon Age Origins being a good game, apparently.
Dragon Age Origins is the best modern RPG to come out.
Have you played Dragon's Dogma?
I have. And I will still, to this day, Dragon Age Origins is the best modern RPG of our time.
Are you also counting action RPGs in that too?
I'm counting everyone.
You're just actually wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You are.
I'm not. Name one game that Enty, you're not included in this because I know what you're gonna say.
What would she say?
I told you I refuse to have this argument with you.
Hold on. What would she say?
Nope, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, Saviour. We're not doing this. Trust me, you don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
Okay. Anyway, continue on your train of thought.
What do you think is the best RPG of our era?
See,
because Morrowind doesn't count because that wasn't something we grew up with. That was like 2002.
See, I don't count. What was I gonna say?
Except for me, because I'm old and I played it on original Xbox.
See, I don't play many RPG games. However, I think this will probably they're two very recent games. They came out within a week of each other. Can you take a guess?
How recent?
Like actually 2 months ago.
Nier Automata?
That's no.
Final Fantasy?
No.
You said action RPG?
Just RPG. Okay, so
Gravity Rush?
Horizon Zero Dawn and
No.
Breath of the Wild
No. Okay, no. Look,
Are-
no. Hey, whoa. No. No, no, no.
What?
No. No.
What?
Nintendo doesn't count in this.
What do you mean Nintendo? It's an
'Cause
RPG.
no, Nintendo does not count when we go into basic. When we go into gaming, Nintendo does not count because they're on their own level. Everything they make is gold. They are not
Except
on
for
this level.
anything after Gen 3 of Pokemon.
Nintendo is at a higher standard. We cannot compare them to everybody else. So Zelda's out. So make your argument with Horizon Zero Dawn. And I would love to argue about how Dragon Age Origins is the better RPG of the two.
Well, what do you think is so great about Dragon Age Origins? What appeals to you about it? What's the appeal for you?
Have you played it?
No, I'm asking. No, that's why I'm asking you. What does the trick for you? That's why I'm asking you what's so good about it to you.
Here's the trick. It's the spiritual successor to Neverwinter Nights. Okay? You ever played Neverwinter Nights?
No.
That's old D&D shit right there, buddy. Bam! Number one. Okay? It's got that old school feel to it. Number two, you have three races to choose from, and I think 4 or 5 classes. Every combination you pick has a different starting story. Okay, so each time you get a different story, a different way events can turn out. You go through the game. Now you have hundreds of different branching options to choose from. So each way you pick, you're going to end up with a different ending. And your ending can be different when you get to the end because you have different options there too. And meanwhile, the combat is superior on the PC. Feels good. Built for PC.
Wasn't Dragon Age 2 or Origins, didn't they have like a really bad PC port though?
No, they didn't. Dragon Age 2 had a really bad PC
Okay,
port.
there you go. But I mean, it sounds like you'd really like Nier Automata.
I don't like Nier Automata. I haven't played it, so I can't say I don't like it.
Like
I've heard a lot
it
of
sounds
good things about it.
it's aside from the whole D&D stuff, a lot of it is exactly what you're describing.
No.
Because there's something like 10 endings.
This isn't about endings. This is about starting
You were
stories
just talking
and
about branching paths.
No. Okay, the branching paths is just one part. The storyline in this game is the best storyline in any RPG ever. I will say that right off the bat. The story in this is incredible. It's almost like reading a book. It is great. The Grey Wardens, just learning about their back... This was one of the first RPGs, besides Morrowind, that I sat through and just read all of the lore. Because I had to. It was that interesting.
Oh, speaking of lore, did you know that the entire Elder Scrolls universe takes place in a dream?
That can't be true.
It's actually true. Look it up.
What made that canon? What game made that canon?
I think it was a book.
It could have been Redguard. Do you know,
Fun fact.
Do you know Elder Scrolls Redguard?
No,
Came out
I don't
before
know
Morrowind?
Elder Scrolls.
I know
No,
that,
it was recent. Ish.
that just can't be true. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it. There's no way that could be a dream, unfortunately. There's too much backstory, there's too much lore to the entire place of it. That's not true. My brain will not accept that as a fact. My brain will not accept... No, it's not. No, it's not. No,
His
it's
brain
not.
started to accept and he started to die.
No, I'm not accepting it. My brain will not accept this as
I wanna read
canon.
this.
I'm not gonna read it. I don't want to read it.
I mean,
You want me to read it out loud?
No, because the thread itself actually has content in it. But I'm just saying, like, look it up and read about it sometime. Because it's interesting.
I will. I will read about it. Okay, let's look at the other topics here. Because how much time are we into this by now?
I don't know.
felt like we've been
I did
talking
also
for a
just
while.
completely derail you away from RPGs, so...
We're an hour in, so we're good. Okay. Wow, we got through all the gaming topics on my list. You guys got anything gaming related you want to talk about before I go off on a tangent about my YouTube stuff?
I don't think so, but I might also have to, like, disappear for another 5 minutes.
Dragon Age 2 is the best game ever.
God, fuck off, Enty. I swear to God.
Bye! Follow LeagueBros Chat, subscribe to them.
Yeah, okay, so for all the people watching that are still subscribed to the channel and following my shit, I am planning on returning to YouTube. New artwork and shit. Probably just doing a lot of podcasts. Maybe some co-op gameplays. If they ever fix PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, I'll record co-op of that. I'll try and start my fixed series again because I actually enjoyed doing that. Maybe see if we can't get Dagon back for a Skyrim fixed. That was fun. And just to please Enty, I'll probably do a Dragon Age 2 fixed.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will. That was the plan beforehand. I was gonna have you come through and talk shit to me the entire time I played it. So, I don't know. I'll try and get back on that. Here lately, I've just been playing a lot of MMOs and getting drunk, so that helps. Secret World Legends, I'll probably play a lot of that when that comes out, because I actually enjoy the story in that game. I just hate the combat. But yeah, so I got a lot planned for the channel. I have a green screen I haven't used yet. I'll probably use those in the gaming videos maybe. And I'm going to try and do this podcast, I think, once a week. What is today, Friday?
Yes.
Okay, I think I will try and maybe upload these on Sundays then. I feel like Sunday would be a good day, because that's usually a day most people have off. But I don't know, I live on the Bible Belt, so maybe that's not ordinary in other states. You live on the Bible Belt too, Enty, right?
I live in Virginia, but
I think that
it's not really Bible Belty.
No?
No, I mean, when I was in middle school, I was going through that, emo goth phase, so I was wearing all black, and this woman ran out of her house to yell at me, tell me I was going to go to hell.
You're in the Bible Belt then, dear.
It was interesting.
You're in the
But
Bible
I haven't gone through anything like that since.
Yeah, but a lot of people in your, like, how many churches are in your town?
True.
Okay, if there's more churches than there are gas stations, then you're in the Bible Belt.
Is Georgia in the Bible Belt?
Is what?
Georgia.
No, that's just considered the South. They're all Christian down there.
So there is no real Bible Belt?
There is. The Midwest, mostly.
Eh.
Like, Indiana, they have, like, strict Christian laws. No drinking on Sunday. You can't buy alcohol on Sunday in Indiana?
I can buy alcohol on Sunday here.
I bet you can, but we can't here in Indiana because that's against somebody's religion.
I did it here.
So you always have to buy your alcohol on Saturday because you can't get it on Sunday. And, what's one of their other stupid things? No gay marriage. Probably never happen. None of those public bathroom things, where it's like unisex bathrooms. They don't have those here. I pretty much live in the 30s is what I'm trying to get at here. But anyway, yeah, I got a lot planned for the channel. Probably upload these podcasts on Sunday. I'm not doing anything tomorrow, so I can edit this and upload it on Sunday, and hopefully get Craxtus to do a really crappy stick figure drawing tonight or tomorrow. And
He may have to wait a bit because he's working a lot.
yeah, I know. I'll find somebody to do some kind of drawing. I mean, Enty will do it if she has to.
Can't draw.
You could do stick figures and shit.
No, I can't. My hand's broken.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe get Churro to do some artwork again. I highly doubt he will, though, since he's in the military and college and shit.
Damn.
Okay, so, yeah, make sure to like this video, comment with topic suggestions that I will go over. I'm sure Enty will be a returning person on this constantly.
I have to make it League Peoples Inc.
You're not going to be a bro?
It's League Peoples Inc.
I'll think about it.
Did you just assume my gender?
It's 2017. I can't assume any gender, can I?
Nope.
You identify as a potato, I gotta call you a potato.
I identify as an Apache helicopter.
That's fair. Okay. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.